Hey Calvary kids, welcome back to Moving Through the Bible. I'm Lauren, and we are currently working our way through the 1st and 2nd Kings. Last week, we moved through the story of Elijah meeting with the mean King Ahab. Does anyone remember how God proved that he was the one God on that mountaintop? He sent fire to wet wood after Elijah prayed to him. This week, we are going to talk about Elisha, who is the prophet that continues Elijah's work. They have the same sounding names, so it can be a bit confusing. If you look at the words, you can see that Elijah, who went to Mount Carmel for the fire setup, is spelt like this, with a zh sound. And Elisha, that comes into the story today, is spelt like this, with a sh sound. All right, find a spot to sit down where you can see the screen, and go! Grab your telescope and adjust it, and hey look, it's Elisha. Hang on tight, here we go! Phew! Here we are, we made it. We see we are in a field, and Elisha is plowing a field. That means he is turning the soil over to mix it all up and make it good for plants. Nowadays, we plow with a tractor, but back in Bible times, they often plowed with oxen. Pretend to be an ox. Get down on all fours, and pretend to have a big plow of equipment behind you. It's probably tied to you like this. The oxen reach forward with one arm, and then it hits the ground. Then you reach forward with the other, and it hits the ground. And try to get reach and down, reach and down. You see Elijah confidently walk up to Elisha and throw his cloak on him. God told Elijah that Elisha would be a prophet to Israel after Elijah, and throwing his cloak on him represents this. Elisha decides to follow Elijah on his ministry. We decide to follow too, but this time we decide to be a tractor. Boy, could they have used one of these back in those days. Plowing a field with oxen is hard work. We lean back onto our heels and put the front of our tractor, our hands, out in front of us. Vroom, vroom, vroom. The tractor starts to go forward. We come to a stop in Bethel. Reach! We stand with our feet facing forward and bend to the right. Elijah, who knew God was going to take him up to heaven, says, "Elisha, stay here. The Lord is sending me to Bethel." We lean back onto our heels and put the front of our tractor, our hands, out in front of us. Vroom, 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 vroom. The tractor starts to go forward. We come to a stop in Bethel. Screech! We stand with our feet facing forward and bend to the right as Elijah, who knew God was going to take him up to heaven, says, "Elisha, stay here. The Lord is taking me to Bethel." But, coming forward onto your hands, Elisha says, "As long as you are alive, I will not leave you." So, they start their journey. We get back onto the tractor. Vroom, 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 vroom. At Bethel, we face our feet forward and bend the other way as we hear Elijah say, "Elisha, stay here. They're sending me to Jericho." Sorry, I said, "Elijah, stay here. The Lord is sending me to Jericho." What do you think Elisha is going to say? "As long as you are alive, I will not leave you." So they journey to Jericho. Hop on your tractor. Vroom, vroom. This time, we come down to a seat. We lean forward. Vroom, vroom. At Jericho, Elijah said, "Elisha, stay here. The Lord is sending me to Jordan River." What do you think Elisha is going to say about that? Will he leave? Nope. "As long as you are alive, I will not leave you." So they went together to the river. We take our tractor over to the river. Vroom, 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 vroom. We see the river flowing and a crowd of prophets watching Elijah and Elisha. Elijah rolls up his cloak and hits the water with it. The river parts. Open your arms, and they cross to the other side. Elijah asked, "Is there anything I can do for you before I go?" Elijah says, "I want a double portion of the Spirit you have." He isn't asking for a double scoop of ice cream here. He wants to take over Elijah's ministry. Elijah said, "If you see me go, you will have it." Suddenly, we see a chariot of fire with horses of fire appear, and it drives between Elijah and Elisha. Elijah flies up into heaven in a whirlwind, spin around like a whirlwind. Elijah watched as Elijah went away. Then he took Elijah's coat and he hit the river with it, and it parted for him to cross. The crowd of prophets were watching, and they saw that the spirit that was in Elijah was now with Elisha. The prophets searched for Elijah, but they could not find him because God had taken him to heaven. We sit down and we get ready to come out of our Bible story. We think about the Spirit Elijah and Elisha had in them, and about the Holy Spirit that Jesus puts in us when we choose to follow him. Thank you so much for your help today. We saw Elijah pass his ministry off to Elisha and go up to heaven in a chariot of fire. Remember, our memory verse this month is, I am the Lord, I will not give my glory to another. That's Isaiah 42, verse 8. Elijah followed God with tremendous faith, and Elisha desired to do the same. They kept their focus of their ministries on God and did not worship other idols. That's it for today, Calvary Kids. Until next time, have a great week.